Samantha, about Summoner's Court.
Yes? Care to play around?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Then let's get summoning. Accio! Yes!
Accio!
You'll have to do better than that. Accio! Yes! That was sensational! Accio! What was I thinking?
Accio!
You'll have to do better than that. That settles it, then. After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player.
Well, that's very kind of you. Let's just say if I'm good, then you're better. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's no shy opponent. Best of luck.
Glad you came.
Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgog?
I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ramrock.
Are you? I suspected you and he would get along. Perhaps best I don't know details of your plans. And I shall refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stayed with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Seems a natural fit for me.
Revelio.
You ought to cut back on pudding. Mistook you for a troll the other day.
A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time.
You there! Can you help me?
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Revelio. Revelio.
Welcome to Upper Hogsfield. Charming hamlet. Don't tell the residents of Lower Hogsfield I said that.
Seems pleasant enough, doesn't it?
Bardolph Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Revelio. Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Hawklum.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk lumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk lumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Revelio.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance. Bardolph Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Nothing to poach in Arrynshire except for spiders. Not worth the trouble.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
He'd better notice is all I can say. I'm better.
Leave the Hawklumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Zerona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more Hawklumps while I'm there. Revelio. Better have a look around. See about the Hawklumps and the box of letters. That's all the Hawklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Revelio. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether. Confringo! Protect! Flipendo! Expelliarmus! Revelio! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Protego! Flipendo! Confringo! Rest easy, my large friend. Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Lumos. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
I'll say it again. Can't thank you enough for helping to save the village from those trolls.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Revelio!
Locke's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
Alohomora. Revelio. Revelio. This looks intriguing. Mine now, Demiguise. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Upper Hogsfield is being terrorised by Ranrock's loyalists. It's not right.
And I can say that the experience has been much more pleasant.
You have my thanks.
Myself in the kitchen.
Revelio.
This might be enough.
I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. Never imagined they'd act this deadly. I'm Claire Beaumont, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. My brother Bardolph dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's?
Bardolph had spent the entire day hand-picking herbs and roots for us. When a group of Ranrock's lot appeared and demanded the harvest for themselves, Bardolph refused. In their anger, they hurled him against the rock and robbed him. The moment he left St. Mungo's, he vowed revenge. I worry he may be dabbling in magic that he will one day regret.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where, precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
Why don't you simply leave the area for now?
Upper Hogsfield is my home. Bardolph and I grew up here. No, we are standing firm. Once my brother returns, then we shall decide what to do next. He's gone to seek Victor Rookwood's advice. I didn't approve of that idea, but perhaps in the end it will help.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious. We should not have to live in fear. This is our home.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard.
How nice of you to stop by. I wouldn't give for a cup.
Glacius!
I won't rest.
No!
You will regret. One less shoe at the back. I've seen anything like that before. Won't get away with that.
Descendo! Expelliarmus!
You're I won't rest until...
Stupid one!
No! I won't rest until you're dead.
Leviosa! Confringo! You only have Ranrock to blame. One camp down, one more to go.
Revelio.
Enjoy suffering, do you?
Revelio.
Confringo!
Revelio. Revelio.
That wasn't so difficult.
Revelio.
Hello. Do you have anything for sale?
That I do, but what's a student like yourself doing out here? Got yourself lost, did you?
Need a little rest from classes. Can't stay in the castle all the time.
No, of course not. Never meant to imply otherwise. Bit of a wanderer myself, in fact. Name's Leopold Babcock, and I am indeed here to sell. Now, for someone like yourself who is also prone to wander, I cannot understate the importance of keeping some Wiggenweld potion on hand. I wouldn't dare set foot in a place like the Forbidden Forest without a steady supply. What do you say, my young friend? A measure of safety for the path ahead?
Something to consider. Thank you for your help, Mr. Babcock.
Aye, let me know if you see something you like.
What do you have for sale?
See if there's something you need. Thank you for your patronage. I shall hope to do business with you again. That's been a pleasure.
How nice of you to stop.
Expelliarmus! Confringo! Arresto momentum! Incendio!
I won't rest until one less human to worry about. Not quiet enough. How nice of you to stop by.
Accio!
You're no match for me. Why can't I hit you?
Arresto momentum! Levioso!
You don't know who you're playing with. You are my
Stupefy!
No!
Expelliarmus!
I will make.
Stupefy!
I won't rest.
Glacius! Revelio! Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that.
I do miss the bustle of business. Poor customers, afraid to venture out.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
I managed to catch them off guard.
When my brother returns, this news will mean the world to him. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
I should be going now. Thank you.
Thank you. Sincerely.